Hey, what are you guys doing here? Hey, welcome. Glad you could join us today. Earlier, I made a fantastic crawfish corn chowder. I'm such a terrible host. I should have invited you guys to come over. But instead, I figured I could at least show you guys how to make it. Follow me. Alright, so today guys, I'm going to post two recipes. One's going to be the full recipe. One's going to be my modified version if you don't need to make a whole bunch. The original recipe I'm going to post is going to feed quite a bit. It's going to make a big pot. You have it now. It does freeze well, so it does freeze really well. So if you want to make it like the recipe says, you will have a lot to freeze and eat at your convenience later. Just heat it up, take it out of the freezer and microwave it, and it tastes just like the day you cooked it. So that's always an option. So get a big pot. It's something big enough to cook a gumbo in, because it's going to make it's going to be a lot of liquid. Put it on medium high. Then we're going to add in the veggies. So I'm going to have a list of the ingredients that's in here, but basically I cut up 2 onions, 1 bell pepper, 1 jalapeno pepper, 2 stalks of celery. You're going to cook this until wilted. The recipe might say saute, but it's a sweat. So you don't want to cook it on high. Just let this cook, let it simmer until everything's soft, and then it'll be ready to add the rest of the ingredients. So it's been cooking now for about 10 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes. Don't rush this process. It doesn't matter really how long it cooks, as long as the veggies are to the consistency that you want them. They're going to continue to cook. I don't like crunchy veggies when I'm eating the chowder, so I let it cook probably a little longer, about 10 or 15 minutes on a simmer. Then we're ready to add a half a cup of flour. What you want to do is you want to just sprinkle that in. Don't clump it, because it may, doubtfully, but it may clump. Just add it, kind of sprinkle it over as much as you can, and then give it a good stir. Basically, it's a roux, but we're not going to darken it like we would a gumbo roux. We're just going to get it, flour acts as a thickening agent. When you're making a gumbo and you make a roux, you make it dark. You brown the roux, you give it a good nutty flavor, and that's what gives the gumbo its color. We want the thickening power of the flour, but we don't want the color. So I'm going to let it cook here for, not very long. 2 or 3 minutes, just to get it, no, maybe not even 2 or 3 minutes, probably a minute and a half, just to get it mixed and make sure there's no clumps. All right, once you get it good and mixed, now it's time to add a half a gallon of milk. You'll notice the regular recipe is going to have a whole gallon of milk, and that, like I said, is going to be to feed a whole lot more people than just my family. But it does have good freezing power. So I had issues getting some of the whipping cream and things like that. So I shrunk the recipe. Came out amazing. But like I said, I'll show you. Once I have the milk added, now it's time to add the whipping cream. So what I'm doing is I'm adding 1 pint of whipping cream, then 1 pint of half and half. Yeah, and who says you can't play with your food? Let's drizzle that in there. I just like the way it looks in the back with the butter. So now that we have the half and half added, it's time to add the alfredo sauce. And any brand of alfredo sauce is fine. Get that added. All right, now we're going to add the corn. We're going to add 2 cans of whole kernel corn. Try not to splash everywhere. Then 2 cans of cream style corn. And as you guys can see, I did not master the art of not making a mess, because hey, if you can't make a mess when you cook, what's the point of cooking, right? Except to eat. But I gotta clean it up, so it's okay. Now, if you can find this corn, the recipe calls for mexicorn. If not, you can always add It's just for color. You know, it has some of your Mexican deals like red bell pepper, colored bell peppers, and things like that. 1 can of regular Rotel. Then you're going to want to stir it. All right, guys. So the following ingredients I added was you can either use Nunu seasoning, or you can use the following list of Cajun spices that I'm going to add here up here in the corner. Once you do that, you want to cover it, cook it for 1 hour. All right, guys. So that was the shortest hour ever, but an hour has passed, and this is what it should look like. You can tell the flour really thickened it up, and this is about the simmer that you want to cook it on. So here we go. I'm going to add 2 pounds of crawfish tails. Now keep in mind, guys, this is also a really good meal to make if it's like the day after a crawfish boil. You don't know what to do with all the leftover crawfish other than eat them. You can peel them and you can make crawfish etouffee, which I'm going to show you how to do coming up real soon. Or you can make this, or you can make a crawfish fettuccine. You can make a lot of things with crawfish. And guys, I have to apologize. The camera was not running when I added the crab meat. So you want to add 1 pound of lump crab meat. White crab meat's better, but it's going to be more expensive. You can always substitute the claw meat. I got more of like what's a minced. It was a really, really fine crab meat. I mostly want the crab meat for the flavor that it adds to the soup anyway. But if you want really chunkier pieces of crab meat, get the lump crab meat. You'll be pretty happy with that. Now that I have everything added, this needs to cook covered on the same low simmer. The seafood doesn't take long to cook. The crawfish is already cooked, so is the crab meat. So about another 10-15 minutes. Now it's time to season to taste. So you're going to want to get a spoon or a wooden spoon and taste and add salt and pepper as needed. All right, guys, now it's ready to serve. Look how gorgeous this looks, and it tastes just as good. Guys, if this helped you make a crawfish corn chowder, or if it made you want to try to make it, please give me a thumbs up, and if you can, please subscribe to my channel. It helps me out, and it's real simple for you to do. Just click the red subscribe button down at the bottom. I appreciate it. Thanks, and have a great day.